welcome to Huckleberry Bastion. So today we're going to take a look at something that everybody's probably seen in a little survival kit, and that is these wire saws. Wire saw, just a length of wire. It has kind of an abrasive or rough surface on it, and this one is probably just under 2 feet. Has these little rings there. So first method I'm going to try is just putting it on my fingers, drawing it back and forth this way, and see how that works. Then I'm going to try just using 2 sticks, replacing my fingers with that, try to draw it back and forth like a saw. And then I'm going to show you 2 other ways I thought of, which probably are not original. I'm sure somebody else has them out there. They've done that before. But 2 other ways that that might work. One of the appealing things, I guess, about these saws, these wire saws, is that you can fold them up, make them really small and compact, and then just throw them in a pocket, throw them in a little survival tin or whatever. Or if you have one of those hollow knives, you can put it in that. So I guess that's the appeal. Let's give it a try. Oh, it does seem to be cutting. It's getting bound up already. Yeah, it seems to get bound up fairly easily. Change the cutting angle here a bit. There we go, clean through. So this one held up. It's not warm. It's not warm at all like the other one that I tried. So that's good. It does get the job done, but it's a bit awkward, and it binds up, and it does take a lot of energy. So the saw is working. It's working through this branch right now. It's about that diameter. It does work, but it's a lot of work, and I'm getting pretty sweaty and tired. And if you're in a survival situation, you definitely want to be conservative with your energy, and you don't want to get real sweaty, because then you're going to risk hypothermia when things start to cool down. But I'm going to finish up with this little piece here, and then I'm going to show you an idea I have to maybe make this work a little better without this exhausting back and forth motion. So now that we've tried it using just our hands, let's try it by putting rings around 2 sticks, see if that makes a difference. It still binds up. Yeah, when you try to pull it up that way, it binds on you. Doesn't really seem to be helping, other than not cutting into your finger as much, I guess. It's a good shoulder workout. As you can see, at a sharp angle, it's eventually going to bind up on you. So much for the rope idea. Well, with a lot of time and effort, I was able to make it through these three pieces of this branch, this one being the largest in diameter. But as I said, it took a tremendous amount of effort, and you certainly don't want to waste all that energy for such a small result. But you have to give it credit, it does work. Now, I had a thought. Maybe instead of that awkward, labor-intensive back and forth with the shoulders method, maybe there was a better way. I'd like to be able to pull it like this, but it tends to bind up, and I found that just back and forth seems to work the best. So I thought, why not make a little notch here, put a loop around it, and then just wind it around like so. Now you have yourself a little saw. Obviously, if you're making one, you want to maximize how much of the cutting area. So bring it out, make it larger, make your cable run between that, then you can go back and forth, get a lot of cutting surface, not have to do little cuts like that. But for the test, we'll try this, see how it works. Well, let's give it a try. It works pretty good, actually. Try it on a bigger piece. Trying to make sure you keep it tight. What's the other word they use for that? Taut? Who knows? That works so much better. Not as good as a folding saw, but way better than using the hand and shoulder technique. So something to consider about this or any tool that you're going to use for survival is how much utility you get out of it. Can it do something that it wasn't intended for? So this was intended to saw, but also you could definitely use it as a snare, simply by passing the wire through the loop, and then you could set your snare up, catch small game. Well, honestly, I thought this was gonna fail and break and be useless, but it turned out to actually be useful. As long as you can find one that's durable and will cut, then this is something viable that you could put in your kit, because it doesn't use up a lot of room, doesn't use up a lot of weight, and I think I'm going to be actually packing this one again. I had taken it out thinking it was junk like the last one I tried, but it's not. If you use it just using your hands, it's not so great and it binds up. But if you use the technique of putting it around and making yourself a saw out of it, it's actually pretty good. Well, that's our look at the wire saw, and kind of surprising. Thought it would be useless, but it's not. Maybe something you may want to consider throwing in your little survival kit. Now, this episode of Huckleberry Bastion is brought to you by my friend Curtis, and I'd like to thank him for letting me come out here, out back at his place, and film my videos. So thanks a lot, and we'll see everybody next time. So if you're an assassin, it works like piano wire.